desperation. I was pretty much just deposited into the hands of some brothers, and started going and really saw their lives and what they were doing, the way they were living their lives, and something that I admired, and started just hanging out with them.
How were they living their lives that was different from what you'd seen before?
Pretty much exact opposite of what I was doing. Just being real and truthful, honest, transparent, helpful, loving, kind towards me.
Was it a different kind of church than you'd been around before?
Totally.
In what ways?
Accepting, loving, kind, just like the guys. Non-judgmental. Mm-hmm. I could come in, I had hair down below my shoulders and a big beard and lived in a teepee, and just, you could come in with little or no clothes on, literally, no shoes, just a pair of shorts, and that was just fine.
It didn't matter what you looked like, what you wore, those things, that wasn't the important thing as far as your relationship to Jesus Christ. The church, the churches that I grew up in, would they have been as accepting? Maybe. But when we were young, there were certain standards, you might say. I mean, I was judgmental. Not that I ever said anything to anybody, but, to myself, I could be judgmental.
Why?
Well, one Sunday, some people came in barefooted. And my first reaction was, they're barefooted. How dare they be in a church barefooted? Mm. But then my next thought was, well, but they are in church, aren't they?
Jesus, sustainer of my life.
Do you think it has changed at all over the years?
Everything's changed in 30 years of life, and everything's changed. The hippies are now yuppies and are dead.
Over the years, what has the fellowship meant to you?
Friends, stability, a place to just go and worship.
What attracted you to, when you moved up to Oregon, what attracted you to the fellowship, the Applegate Christian Fellowship?
That's where our friends went.
We enjoyed, we initially started going there even before we moved up. We had exposure to it. Uh-huh. And I think we enjoyed the teaching. And then when we moved up here, we just continued to go. Enjoyed the music and that, and then it just got too big.
Well, it was
for us. And we wanted something for you boys, too. And at that time, they didn't really have a young children's program. I think they just had a junior high school. And we wanted something for you. Plus, we wanted a smaller church, because if you're not an outgoing person, you can get lost in a big church. And so that's why we started going to Ruch.
Did you ever think of starting a young children's ministry?
No.
No.
Why not?
We were just part of the congregation.
We
weren't the leaders of the church.
We're not that outgoing in a lot of ways. And even though it was kind of an informal church, you kind of felt like certain people were the ones that were going to be the leaders, or the ones that were going to do things. Mm-hmm. And
did a lot of that have to do with the size, though, as well? If it had been smaller, do you think it...
I think then we would have you would be more easily to be involved.
Jesus says, as you go, as you're out in the world, be about, what you've learned all during the week. And I really try to make that one of my main focuses as I go into potential customers, talking with people. I always look for the opportunity to pray for people, minister to people, love people, innocently, of course, just.
And though they may not believe the same thing.
It's okay. I'll let God figure it all out.